Okay, so we've gone through the first 4 steps. The 5th step is the length of your putter. It might be the most important because it influences the first 4 steps. If you have the wrong length putter, there's no way you can get into the proper setup. And it all starts in how you get your putter. And I know what happens. You have a bad day in the putting green and you walk into a store and you grab a putter that looks good to you for whatever reason. Maybe you had a friend putt well with the same putter, or maybe you saw it on TV, but you just basically pick a putter. And the problem with that is, what length is it? So many people have no idea what length they should have. And what do? They just adapt to the length of the putter instead of getting in the right setup and having the putter length adapted to them. We have it backwards, right? So about 10 years ago, I came up with a method called the Tri-Fit method. What is the goal there? The goal is to get you in the right setup and then measure you to the length putter so that the putter adapts to you. It's very simple. All the putter is, if you think about it, is a diagonal line. Well, back to my 8th grade math class where I thought about this, I just made a triangle out of it and measured it. So the Pythagorean theory, if I go straight down and then straight over, if I have those 2 measurements, I can take the square root and then I have the length of the putter. Pretty simple, right? So this is the Tri-Fit tool. So this goes up and down. And if I set this for myself, you can see this goes up and down. Right? And so I'm setting that at 30 inches. That's measuring 30 inches from the grip to the ground, straight down. And then my eyes come to rest. If you look at the mirror on top here, my eyes come to rest right at the 11-inch mark. So when I do that, I set up, if I'm set up and my hands are 30 inches from the ground and my eyes are at the 11-inch, well, when I square that up, it comes to a 32-inch putter, which is the exact length putter that I putt with in the right setup. So obvious when people have the wrong length putter. If I buy a putter off the shelf, and 80% of the putters that are sold today are 35 inches. What I find on tour is 35 inches really fits the majority of players that are 6'1", 6'2". 34 fits players that are closer to 6 foot. Luke Donald, I believe, used a 33-inch putter. He's 5'9.5", 5'10". I'm 5'6", I use a 32-inch putter. Well, if 80% of the putters sold in the market today are 35 inches, how many people are out there with putters that don't fit them? It's crazy. If you've got one club in your bag that's literally worth 40% of your score, wouldn't you want that to be the most fitted club in your bag? It's worth almost half your score. I see people all the time spending $1,000, $2,000 on a set of clubs to get to the green, and then they just settle for a putter off the shelf that doesn't fit them. It doesn't make any sense when you think through it. If I have a putter that's too long, here's what the length of the putter affects. It affects your forward posture, it affects your elbow connection, and it affects the distance from the ball. So if I set up to this ball with a putter that's too long for me, well, if I go rotate, tuck, and tilt, like we talked about earlier, rotate, tuck, and tilt, well, the putter's going to hit the ground too soon, so my eyes can't get over the golf ball because I can't tilt far enough. Now, what also happens when I do this, my hands aren't underneath my shoulders. So, okay, I'm going to tilt more. I'm going to get my eyes over the golf ball. Well, the problem with that is if I tilt more and my hands come underneath my shoulders, now my elbows are jammed up and kind of behind my rib cage. Whenever your arms are stuck, you're going to putt more with your hands or you're going to move your body out of the way of your arms, again, making a bad stroke. All right, so that's forward tilt. Well, let's say, okay, I'm going to stay forward tilted, but I'm going to get my elbows in front of my rib cage. Well, the problem with that is now I have to stand too far from the ball. So 3 things that the length of your putter does influence in the setup, which does affect your natural stroke. Your forward tilt, your elbow connection, and the distance you stand from the golf ball. If you don't take the time to get the right length putter and get it yourself in the right position, you're never going to develop that great natural stroke. It just can't physically happen. Really important that you get the 5th step correct and get the right length putter so that you can get in this posture that we've talked about, rotate, tuck, and tilt. Rotate my elbows in, let my elbows tuck against the bottom of my rib cage, tilt forward from the hips so my eyes come to rest over the golf ball and my hands come to rest under my shoulders. Now I'm in this perfect position where it's really easy just to let this putter swing. I don't have to think about it, fight it, or make it happen. I can make a good putting stroke from that position. Now we're going to move on to the 6th and final step of the setup.